Welcome back to another video, traders, and if you're new to the channel, welcome to Tesla Trends. I'm TJ, and it has been a while. Thanks everybody for sticking around. I saw a couple subscribers that have unsubscribed over the past 2 months, where it's been almost 2 months since I haven't posted a video. The last one was on August 2nd, so thank you to everyone who stuck around patiently, and I appreciate a couple of the comments that I saw, you guys asking about videos. Believe me, I've been wanting to make a video. That's not why I haven't been doing them. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I'm also a student, and a new semester just started. I was taking classes over the summer, but I'm taking a full schedule again now, and at the same time I actually started a new job as part of my med school application. I'm working at a hospital now, and I actually just had my first day yesterday, but the training process for that job has been pretty arduous, and just doing both that and school right now hasn't left me with a whole lot of time. So I apologize for it's been so long since I made a video, but we are back, and I'm excited to take a look at the chart because a lot has happened in the past 2 months. So without further ado, let's take a look at the chart. Alright, so here's the chart for Tesla. The last video that I made, sorry, I don't know if this is relevant, but for me it is. It kind of helps me set my frame of reference. But the last video that I did was on August 2nd, so I just wanted to take a look and see. We closed around 709 that day. We were essentially testing the bottom of the growth trend channel, which we are still kind of testing. Haven't really broke into so far, but we've seen new highs recently of almost 800. Did we hit 800 the other day? 798 it looks like, almost 799. So up almost 100 points from the last video that I did 2 months ago. So it's pretty cool. I'm surprised to see that we've seen so much growth, but it's been fairly slow and steady. So we actually haven't been. We've kind of just been walking this razor's edge, still sort of following this growth trend, volatility, but haven't been able to break out. And a couple times we've seen this kind of action where we're just stuck between the bottom of the growth trend channel and the top of this growth trend, which my mouse scroll wheel is, man, you know, you take a couple months off and it all goes to shit. But no, my mouse scroll wheel is actually broken, so hopefully that's not too much of a hindrance. But this growth trend line that we've been following from around May 19th, and I say following loosely because we did break the downtrend. Obviously we're on an uptrend. We're up, you know, let's see, from a low of 547 on May 19th up to 778 today. So that's definitely a growth trend. We broke this downtrend line from the all-time high of 900, which was on like January 25th. We had this cross, and we talked about all that in the last video. So on August 2nd, we really kind of fully confirmed, I want to say triple confirmed, the break of that trend line, and broke out to almost test the 730 level, breaking 695. Though that was the big barrier that we had kind of talked about for over a month. Really had tested this and had difficulty going back to June 24th, and then finally in that first couple days of August broke through that level and just saw sideways movement for a long time there. So breaking 695 was huge. The next step up came breaking 730, which was just the end of August, the beginning of this month, so right around 30 days ago now, breaking this level. When we saw similar action there, a couple of tests of this next level here at 764, but sort of sideways action almost for, let's call it 21 days or so, up to September 24th from the breakout on August 30th. So we've seen sort of a slow and steady step up style of growth, which is typically a much healthier sign than what we saw from Tesla last year, which was just kind of, straight up, steeper and steeper, hundreds of points over the course of a couple of weeks, sometimes even 100 points in only a few days, like hundreds of billions of dollars of value supposedly being created overnight. It's just not realistic. It's not sustainable, as opposed to what we've been seeing now, talking about the last few months, much more of a slow and steady climb, and there's real revenue to go along with it. So it's exciting to see a realistic growth pattern for a company that we all know has a greater intrinsic value, but it takes time for the market to adjust, and it takes obviously time for Tesla to prove that narrative as well. And I think it's healthier and a more positive sign of growth to see a healthier growth pattern in the stock price as well. So what are we seeing right now more recently? Well, we've finally broken this 764 level. So again, that's the next step up in the progression. We broke 640, we broke 695, we broke 730, and now finally breaking 764. So let's just zoom out a little bit and get some historical context. So this level, going back, we had a test here in April, 413. That was kind of on the way down, one of the last big blow off candles before falling all the way down to that low of 547. Before that, really the last time we saw this was after the all-time high, February 17th, when we were up in those 800-900s levels. So this is a big level, getting back above 764, essentially means that there's potential to see a test of the all-time high in the near term, in the next couple of months, realistically. And again, see, this is what I was talking about before. This pattern where we went from 400 to 900 over the course of, let's see, what is this, November 16th to January 25th. So 2.5 months, a little over 2 months, we saw 500 points, whereas in this case, we've seen, maybe 200 points over the course of 4 months, right? It's a lot. It's a different kind of growth, a gradual stepping stone, healthy type of growth pattern over a realistic time frame, as opposed to the straight up, which is inevitably going to come crashing down. It's just the way it works. Anyway, not trying to beat that point to death. So 764, again, it's a very big level. Getting above this level, that means we're testing 800, which we kind of did the other day, and I'll zoom in and we'll look at the 10-day chart now. So I guess this is the recent high here, going back to September 27th, breaking above this level just briefly, this 794 level, which is the next level up for us, and almost right there at 798.95, almost back to 800. So it's pretty exciting. We can ignore these red lines. Sorry. So I haven't had a lot of time. What am I doing? But over the past week or two, I've started looking at charts again, and so these are just some levels that I was just looking at, messing around with. So yeah, we're still holding above this growth trend line. Haven't, it depends what chart you're looking at, but we're obviously still haven't broken into the growth trend channel, which is fine. It means it's still out there. That's a major catalyst that can still, at least from a technical perspective, when we do break that level, I think we could see some fireworks when that happens, as I've talked about in the past. So we still sort of have that one waiting on the back burner for when and if we can get back to that level. But for now, it seems like we're seeing strong and healthy growth, and following our trend lines and taking steps to get that next level. And now again, after we've broken out to 764, we're already immediately testing this next resistance line at 793 here. So let me zoom back out again and just talk about what we expect in the future. So we've seen a fairly consistent pattern over the past, let's call it 4 months, where we break out to a new level, we consolidate for roughly 2 weeks, have sometimes a bit of a pullback for a week or less, a week or two at the most, and then we end up breaking up, pushing through, and going to the next level, where we see again a week or two of consolidation, sometimes a pullback at some point in there, and then we break out into the next level. So we broke this 764 level on 9/24, so about 5 days ago. I'd expect to see a repeat of this sort of stepping stone pattern, where we're going to hang around in this level between 764 and 794 for a couple of weeks. We might possibly see a pullback to the 730 level, and before we bounce up, moving up to the next level here above 794, testing 811. So I think if things continue the way they are, that's what we can expect to see. On the other hand, let's just look at the SPY really quick. So SPY has been pushing all-time highs fairly consistently up until the beginning of this month, September 3rd. Since then, we've seen some volatility come back into the market. This China situation is starting to sort of have a global effect, but I think the real fear is just consequences of the Delta variants and other variants that are still out there. Again, it's nothing new. We've had a lot of uncertainty in the climate, financially and politically, for a year and a half or more now. So I think it's something that investors are used to at this point. But for now, the market is pulling back, which it's not necessarily a bad thing after the amount of growth that we've seen. We've had a fairly consistent pattern over the past couple of year and a half or so as well, where we've seen consistent growth. The SPY continues to make all-time highs, and then every couple of months there's a bit of a pullback. So hopefully that's another one of those. We'll see a return to the growth mindset maybe over the course of the next month. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out as well, though. NASDAQ is in a similar situation following this growth channel pretty consistently over the past year, with some pullbacks, but continuing to press all-time highs. So it's nice to see Tesla showing strength over the past month, where the larger markets and these indexes have pulled back, because again, the latest all-time high was actually back on September 2nd, so almost a full month ago now. And since then, the QQQ and the SPY index are actually down about 20 points or so each, whereas Tesla, going back to 9.2 or so, is actually up about 60 points. So not quite 10%, let's call it 8%. So the larger markets are down a few percentage points, and Tesla's is actually up over the past month. So that's the strength that we really didn't see in the first half of the year, where those indexes continue to press all-time highs and Tesla was in this extended pullback. So we're seeing the opposite right now. Certainly bodes well, especially as we're starting to get back into these levels above 764, where we can test 800, and above 800 is really all-time highs are right around the corner. That's where people start to get excited. Investors start to feel FOMO. They can jump on the bandwagon. Maybe we break back into the growth channel. And like I said, I think we could see something exciting, maybe some vertical candles when we break back into this growth channel. But we'll have to wait and see. I'll hopefully have time to... That's about it for this video, guys. Let me just go back to the the FaceTime view real quick. I'll hopefully have time to make more videos consistently again now at this point. Like I said, the training schedule was pretty rough on me, and I've kind of gotten now into a groove with school and with this new job at the hospital. So I think I should have some time carved out my schedule to make at least one video a week, if not a couple of videos a week, and get back to the old grind of it. So thank you guys for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the analysis today. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments as always, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new. Thanks as always for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.